Number two, Tashidele, Pyro just like Simusin some Testala and Title than Tan Hogura and Dango Arigi Sinzingi Trolling later, debate the Kuzusa, Taon de Shamdeganza Shasta, Nijai, Ron the Court test Lyra, and the Ngundo de Jail Jayo. Number two test land, Tampo de get the lawsuit and the debate the Yen Law Nashire, Coaching in the CNN Ra in a format this Juatansha, Ra format the Cartolana audience Mindura, and a Chiwata Tango the Kudura, Kamani Kijashe, and a President Trump Kijashe Biden mic the offra, Biden Kijashe Trump mic offra. 아니 치워탕보디기 젤라 리버럴 도치고에 아니 까마직 랭자에 두러 오데다 디베트 기 포맷 온데로 컨도 주어탕도 아니 오디언스 메어데 카르진 스레라나 아니 지겨 디스터벤스 망보 용거라다 서포트 칭에 술레 빼베로 아니 디체로 아니 심바지 때문에 퍼스널 어택 치에도 데스 뉴응도 도셔로 Nija Tigzuya would do Gentido on the lawsome. The Dijik lawsome, and the Arigi Democratic, the Republican ki Kuntugi Tawa Kijo. The Democratic than Zoena, Democrat than Zoena, this Tawa this open minded liberal tyra. And Republican than Zo more conservative, and a Democratic than Zoe Carla Wallana, the tax pargores tax parade and mixe gi juchugan tax pargores Republicans do kharla golana tax parbe tax the flat showers income level khande in mine ra dene democratic do kharla golana ani ngetel difference tagyo nge research ma kunjolana dosonda etes nyung tang lo da Republican do doson tepte tang lo ra ta Ane democratic this open-minded, inclusive child, gay marriage support to the ani colore, abortion to the individual colore, so takjue to minde. Ane Republican do in a gay marriage to the mang chick the support show, kashigi chicho me la to the ani abortion to colore, chicho me la to. Teacher, the Democratic Denzo in a did a color, death penalty la support chigila, Republican ya Kundutera pro life is death penalty the abortion land to mail so Elijah. Teacher, and your text cutting in lassa. Any Democrat in a healthcare like the Tangmal Go Elijah, Kyoda Tangma, Republican and the healthcare like the color. Go mago like the social Dubai go any color, join the ropa, magine digor like that. Then the dochero. Any Republicans in the immigration ta chilon million bet against ra. Democrat to Carla and the color. Kange you only gumze and on amnesty take Elijah. The dender or base on the door that into Chigo Tawa Kitanchoro. And color. In law, nashi democratic into inclusive type, meaning like mirik yo mache la jo, and Republican into mache chigyo color. Ngara rai, arig mi rai la jo, on the tatawa into color, that into bad cora, into chipo mataya, then that ye tordi jondre, ra. On the law some sort of chick item is there. Republican into ra gun freedom go like ra. Democrat into gun control go out. They'll the Jumzen Cheshu did than the National Rifle Association la Jora Arila Gun Mendagi Association Jora Konzogi Republican la campaign chegi Pishata or support Chokoro. The National Rifle Association ki Chong gi cheto Republican ki gun freedom go malarang kan kunzo peshata gora on the chick law some sra oh ta topic ngone de lesta tango gi debate kuncho sun hang san resta kun ta ari lana ta zamling gi lungba yakshu zikshu 찍으라 top cheshe the presidential candidate nija bet kenir kuncho sum 찍도 the dango gi debate ki topic da man dosa abortion che medicare inflation ani ma social security kalore sanjam gi problem mi mangu shwile gora arela ani tax che ro ani child care afghanistan ne ma kalor to thero ari only gi problem shu sharo da afghanistan do inara ari gi shamde shu sharta khajala konjogi Arigi Theoda Taliban ki Afghanistan takeover shiro ani arigi phagela mangmi yuti minde translator shu chi haya chido translator dindula ari kharla lana khenzo gi nangmi da nindo changma phage ta ganjam je safety guarantee ta ari ma thundu minde translator tongda hazu sumjure chi haya chido ta khorang zu gi phage deshoringa tongda chusta Taliban ki sesh 아니 비자 마 간지만 아프가니스탄에 수 태고라다 콘도 세이프 요마라 가질는 콘조이 아리를 초체 타 콘도 파겔 탈리반 기 카르츠고라나 콘조 트레이더를 쓰고다 콘조 토나 세간 초고다 다 온데기 슈냥데 딱 슈샴데 슈 온데기 제 마무시스라 아니 보더 프로블럼 다 요바라다 땡사 이미그런트 심마실리 들어서 니말라 시동래 다 tuzuja lo onde lewarsa nima chikchila shidong lagwarta ari nanglo mi de dimarda visa mekyo illegal ane jene kalore tikzu gyuwa tangche ta tengsa nidong apja sto legwarsa ro ine ya Trump ki tuzula ya border security la nere ta me ya illegal le joro onde nimal chikdong sto tes yagai ro onde kichesro ani the medicare inflation ma tan sam kecheso ta denzo da khalo to degro ine ta shamde dugjo kharshaslan ta Biden ke opposition denzo khar lagolana Biden ta kengo cha chare ani chigyo ata level aya bu chigo mar laijo ani ondi nyaman la dejo Biden ende yo mare Biden thande level ya po yore chigrajo ondi ta tango debate chiso ko lewa da chaga chigirish ani geje shigi shi koro ladudu topic ta ta detum chambasuyum do andegala thanda debate ki question do dendu sangma korani jal ngin ratar prepare chela ta nija ge minde le yapu che kyams kunjo sum ani Biden da shamde bet shasta Biden gida khokoro te chidge topic kangla de do mendro ata anje men din sar lepa tak gengo ena os yas chana ta de chingmar tembasu mare dera 가지는 건도 필배치에 투수 쉬우라라 언데 제가 anje 문제 코민데 게제 셰드인데 train of thought laida topical detu munda khoror la du dro ane kamani geje she na kamachik da thas ma ge she tu munda an dijala kare dinzogi dedo kare moderator dinzo konda laida korani ja edres kamani kaje geje she munda topic ta ngone chena thuzu dende yakpor tagin ende audience mangbo re dinzola she tu wajora Current president chana current agenda kare chem dun sangma she do chora ani paju digi majenge dun sangma tam gora moderator dun do kondo law to de thando kam gejul ha to da rominde on de che ta ga ni shamde ga da shas ani the Biden the debate ra Trump tops ra ine Trump tobie de kora ya tan tobie marda Biden do tan top da hausa andi gala Biden shorsa da Sure, but Trump how or Tando deal lang to her beating the dead horse leisure. She's on a doom choymer on the door. And Dilila Trump Korangi agenda, Korangi Lumbala Karachi and the Yapuchin Latuna Gora, on the Latumasra. Koni Nija Kenyish Kuncho some. Ani Tukshujal Lasa Trump Karich Ko Karamis Chasel and Biden shorts out again for keje yapo thengmindo ani topic dunzo decision도 gyagi jegi khora chambal ai do chamba thorge do ani ke dunzo mambal shu chi do 아니 당지면 이제 온데 치탄다 트럼프 거기 realize 치토죠 바이든다 쇼르사스 라죠 나랑기 에젠다 나랑기 룽발라 가르치기 토비에 딱 엘렉션 토비에기 메시지는 상마 약보신 디쪽으로 따땅 라고라 된자 라토마스 코에 거기에 저 substance 제메교는 셰스로 아니 코니 니자 마비 마우페 셰드라 어디게 CNN 기 fact check 지도죠라 어느 말이 제일 루고로 디체로 아니 last 독쇼 가르치는 슬로고에 다 closing statement later 다 디디 토와 동어로 point 가래 예 된동 어느신나 각도 주니 킨내고로 closing statement 래 니자면도 군조 some substance 제메죠 깨절 초제메죠 잉시스 어느 전에 debate 교로 debate 나라 가래 라임 기 point 상마 laura that debate question na pe laura and last the closing statement la tendo kone emphasize chura tendo che chi to mas nija kunjo sum ane debate thara tanda ari gi state of politics the khar lawa republic ken tendo ra trump ga go marta ine magarangar khajin trump la ra support chingen ra 70 million euro Trump support majana Republican tanda Koran togi state ki seat in the euro. On the short quarter. On the Trump support majaranger. The Democratic to tango gi debate gi jail karloga panic ta kunjo sum. Ta nye samlatana ra. Tangone gi Democratic tobe na ra konzo gi ra candidate change or Biden denara tobe chance yumata. Biden la magana Biden gita color mental aptitude lagore cognitive function lagore dinzo kyo thane minde ta digi kembe Trump thogir ro ta gonzo candidate change majana Trump thobe ran guarantee tawngi ende dugja kunjo zum kongemane Biden gemane ta lagor migi thopa sawar ta ko lo kejule thare ani samlo dan to color ta samlo dai di kyoro chugura loyaslena onde yor lagorda white house kinge mane laum biden ende yo mare cognitive function pe yakbo laja ta tango shamde sangma shusta ko minduda onegor president chet chance de thue sama ta tanda khar lagorla mi mangbugi ta tanda ko president ro do decision changma mangche vice president ki sugi yosar lajo ta tokpo onde lerta 가질로 코 디민도 레바기 네제 디벳 코럼 마냠사시 온데르 당에 얘기 칼로 땅 아랑기 지겨로 애널라이즈 시단지로 지단에는 아랑이 섬주 다가랑이 안데 와라 티로나 얘기 단다 CNN 기 폴도다 CNN 기 팩트 체크 지겨스도 데 년도 데슬로로 와다 트럼프 기 마빈 시마시셰셔라 아니 바이든 기 마빈 셰네레 노리네레 타 노르견 망고벨라시 온디게 다가다 당고다 딱 군조스 헨로 터 디베타 타라 군조스
What stands out to you?
What stood out was the staggering number of false claims from former President Trump. On first count, Aaron, I counted at least 30 false claims. Now, President Biden also made false claims, at least 9 false or misleading statements on first count. And I'll give you some of them. He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he'd supported, never endorsed him himself. In fairness, the president did appear to clarify that one. Now, the Trump list, it is way, way longer. So, deep breath. He said some Democratic states allow people to execute babies after birth, an egregious lie that is illegal in every state. He said everybody, even Democrats, wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. Roe was supported by 2/3 of Americans, even more Democrats. He said every legal scholar wanted Roe overturned, abortion returned to the states. Legal scholars have told me directly this is not true. He said the U.S. currently has the biggest budget deficit ever. No, that happened under Trump in 2020. He said the U.S. currently has a record trade deficit with China. That also happened under Trump in 2018. He said Biden personally gets a lot of money from China. Zero evidence of this. He said there were no terror attacks during his presidency. In fact, there were multiple attacks. He said Iran didn't fund Hamas, Hezbollah, other terror groups under his presidency. Iran, in fact, did. He said Biden wants to quadruple people's taxes. That is pure fiction. He said the U.S. has provided way more aid to Ukraine than Europe had. It's actually the opposite. He said the U.S. has provided about $200 billion in Ukraine aid. It's closer to $110 billion. He said 18 or 19 million people have crossed the border under Biden. That is millions too high. He said many of these migrants are from prisons or mental institutions. His own campaign cannot corroborate this. He said Biden has only created jobs for illegal immigrants. Total nonsense. He said Nancy Pelosi turned down his offer of 10,000 National Guard troops on January 6th. There's no evidence she even got such an offer. It was the president, not Pelosi, who had the power to deploy the D.C. Guard. He said Pelosi now acknowledges she turned down the troops. No, her office tells me this claim is still a lie. He said he deployed the National Guard to Minneapolis in 2020. Actually, that was the Democratic governor. He spoke of, quote, ridiculous fraud in the 2020 election. Zero evidence of any widespread fraud. He said NATO was going out of business before he took office. Completely, clearly absurd. He said the U.S. was paying 100% of NATO before he came along. The U.S. made up about 71% of NATO defense spending, not 100. He said he, not Biden, is the one who lowered insulin prices in Medicare. He did it for some seniors, but Biden did it for far more. He said Biden indicted him. Again, no evidence Biden has had a personal role in any of these 4 prosecutions. He said Europe takes no U.S. cars, just not true. He spoke of food prices quadrupling under Biden. That's a wild exaggeration, though they are up. He said Biden made up the idea he called dead service members suckers and losers. No, the Atlantic magazine reported that, and then former Trump Chief of Staff John Kelly corroborated it. He said Biden called black people, quote, super predators for 10 years. Biden never once deployed that phrase, let alone for 10 years, though he did at least once speak of, quote, predators without specifying it was about black people. He said his Trump tax cut was the largest in U.S. history. Not true, though, in fairness, Biden also said this. Trump said China and others stopped buying from Iran under him. China never stopped. He revived his pet lie, I don't know how many times I've done it, that he signed the Veterans Choice Program into law. Barack Obama did that in 2014. Trump signed an expanded version in 2018. And finally, Trump said Biden got rid of that Veterans Program. Biden has not done that.
Let's look at the big question of the night. Who won the debate? We asked debate watchers in our instant poll, and the answer is a resounding Donald Trump did. 67% of debate watchers in our poll say Donald Trump won the debate tonight. Joe Biden, 33% say he won the debate tonight. Now, this group of debate watchers, they told us who they thought would win the debate going into it, before the debate, and take a look at how that changed over time. 55% thought before the debate that Donald Trump would win the debate. 45% thought Joe Biden would win the debate. Look at what the debate did to those expectations. It went, Donald Trump did much better than expected. Joe Biden did worse than expected among this group. And compare this to these two men debating 4 years ago. That's not always a comparison we have, obviously. The rematch is pretty unique. And so take a look at the complete reversal. Again, that top line there is the debate tonight. 67% say Trump won, 33% said Biden. The next line is the second debate in 2020, where Biden won there by about 14 percentage points, 53-39 in our instant poll that night. This looks a little bit more like the first debate. Chris Wallace moderated 60% Joe Biden won that debate that night. 28% said Donald Trump won the debate that night. You can see 57% say no confidence in Joe Biden's ability to lead the country. 44%, again, that is not a great number. That is a healthy plurality there in terms of Trump's numbers, say no ability to lead the coverage, no confidence in his ability to lead the coverage. But
다라이 아니 데 가사 바이다제스키 시무생에 상마 테스트레 subscribe 치루치 아니 ngarangi 칸신신디 마 라이미로 디 ngarangi sam주점레 아니 다라이 라소 테스트레 peace out